Hans Neiman, who's now up 5-1, Eric, and just taking advantage of all the mistakes. Hans has had a few slip ups himself, but to be honest with you, Ding has not taken advantage of the errors that Hans has made. And I'm starting to wonder now, C6 in the opening and then A3. What's going on, Eric?
Well, Ding is tilted. I think that much is clear. Because I don't know how you wouldn't be tilted from how this match is going. And a couple of the missed opportunities is just probably stuck in his head. The opening is fine for Ding to play C6. It's a tricky line if those wondering at home. The trick is Queen A5 check, which is why Black didn't need to defend the E5 pawn immediately. That's the purpose of the opening. But once that, Hans isn't going to fall for it, and instead A3. It's interesting. I don't know the theory here. I figured Ding was just trying to play something offbeat, but I'm not sure
this position
offbeat is working for him. I don't think that's working.
The thing is, he tried his King's Indian, right? He went for it. I do think that at this point in the match with the scoreline, the way that things have gone, it probably makes sense. But we understand that Hans has come into this match as a pretty sizable favorite, and Eric, according to the prediction model, but wouldn't need the model to tell you this. He's now an even bigger and massive favorite, 98% to win this match from here, Eric, which based on where we started, honestly, it's only got worse from there. So it feels like a fair prediction.
Ding hasn't won a game. Yeah. You can't talk about a match if Ding hasn't won a game. That's it. Like, you can't win a match without winning a game. And at least here, Hans is messed up in the opening. There's options. Knight takes c4, knight g4, both. Interesting. Somehow this funny move order and that a3 move, it look a little funny, Doesn't, b4, Hans is trying to make it work. Trying to justify that slow, timid approach. But Ding definitely has good choices here. You can take on e4. You can simply move the bishop back, which I think is the more natural move, especially in the context of blitz. Keep the tension on, keep those dangerous pieces on. And White doesn't want to play e5 probably because of simply knight g4, hitting f2, hitting e5. f2 is a serious concern, but so is d takes e4. Hans is in big trouble here. I mean, it's not the first time we've said that, but this early on, it is the first time. And absolutely, Black is up a full pawn here if you take on e4.
Yeah.
But you don't have to take on e4. You can castle. That pawn is pinned.
You can take any way you want. You can not capture it and know it'll be there for you later. There are a lot of options here for Ding. And I like he's played a couple really nice practical moves. He's not taking the pawn too early, bishop back to b6, retreating, castles. He's making all these smart decisions. And I was going to say, even instead of taking, or perhaps on the next move, knight d5 or knight g4 come to mind to bother this dark squared bishop.
So an instructive moment there. Knight a4, Hans has played to win this bishop. Ding plays bishop c7. The advantage has grown. Now this knight is out of the game. Meanwhile, that bishop is very good on c7, has long diagonal. And White is just, one of their pieces is now out of the game, besides the fact that Hans is down a pawn. This is a must-win game for Ding. We said it before, but the lead has only increased for Hans. This is objectively very close to lost. You can look at moves like f5 here. You can get rid of the dark squared bishop and just say, hey, I'm going to have the dark squared bishop and bishop pair. Everything is good for Ding. He just needs to find that confidence.
Yeah, it really is the confidence that you're talking about. Even the move rook e8, it's a fantastic move to support the e-pawn, but I almost would have wanted the rook on f8 to support a potential f5 advance. Now the knight on b8, we want to develop it knight to d7, maybe knight to f6, queen e5, or queen h4. These moves come to mind. And honestly, at this point, I'd be looking at queen h4 just because it looks like g3 has to be played. And hey, I'm considering sacking on g3. Does it work? Probably a little bit early at the moment.
A little bit early at the moment, so Ding is choosing to bring that knight into the game. Maybe the knight gets to g4. Not quite yet. f7 is loose. Everything is good for black. Ding needs to not blunder here. So if he needs to be calm, I don't know if that requires a move like, at some point I might consider playing g6, king g7, and f5 as a way of closing off the counterplay on the f file. I think that would be one way of doing it. If you'd love to move this knight, you want the knight to get to g4. You want to pressure the dark squares, but f7 is loose, and you can play king h8. You can play rook f8. He goes for those options.
Yeah, but e4 is getting hit here before f5 can be played. So now I think is that moment you have to justify your last move and probably go with this, knight g4 / queen h4 idea. If you don't put those moves on the board, I don't really know what we're doing about this e pawn and then the f pawn as well.
Well, I think the e pawn, if you ever take it, then we have knight g4. So king h8, I don't mind. Knight, if Ding loses that e pawn, that gives him counterplay. On e3, the e file opens up, h2 opens up. I like that.
Yeah, knight g3, queen h4 here.
Well, knight takes h2. Does that work? Knight takes h2 to play queen h4. Yeah. Hans can play knight f5 as an intermezzo, but then h2 will be defended.
So knight takes h2. You can also take on f1. Oh.
You can take on f1. The queen would be loose. So check, king down, queen takes, I'm guessing. You can do bishop takes as well. Then knight f3, maybe pull the queen back to h5. Black's up a pawn. e3 is weak. The king is weak. It's a completely winning position for Ding.
Yep, it is. And he's actually had completely winning positions before. Let's not forget.
30 seconds.
Yeah, let's not forget that time is really a piece here, Eric. 3 minutes down is way too much for how easy this position was to play. Let's be honest.
Yes, it's a natural position for Black to play, but Ding's confidence is broken right now. And you see that.
He needs this win, but Eric, if he doesn't get it, he's going to be tilted even more, right? Because this is a really bad game to lose. So he's got to find everything in his power right now to convert this position. The engine is just screaming in all directions. How tricky can Hans Neiman be? Because he knows he's not going to have winning positions every time, but he's been tricky when he's in a bad position, and he needs to do that again.
Yeah, Hans has confidence even playing these bad positions because he's come back before. So he knows, get Ding in time trouble. Ding is extremely nervous. He's gonna play fast here. Bishop e4. Okay, here comes the queen trade. That's a good move by Hans. I don't think Ding wants to trade queens. He's really going for the checkmate. I'm going to trade queens. It's got to be done correctly.
But 2 seconds, objectively at this point.
No.
Hans
this time
might just be the favorite. 3 seconds is not enough, Eric.
His bishop is almost trapped. G3. I'm on.
Yeah.
Oh, this
unbelievable.
Ding has messed up another winning position. He's trapped his bishop, and he's losing here. It's 3 pawns for a piece, but you're going to lose all your pawns. And yeah, okay, Hans won on time, but the position's actually losing. Went from